Good evening. Welcome to the Wilson School Board meeting of Tuesday, April 18th, 2017. Apologize for the delay. We were in executive session beforehand. Roll call, please.
Here.
Mr. Ehrlich.
Here.
Mr. Hart.
Here.
Mr. Hoff.
Here.
Mr. Martin.
Here.
Mr. Metzger.
Here.
Mr. DeGree. Mrs. Reed.
Here.
Mr. Wolf.
Here.
8 present, 1 absent.
Please rise for the presentation of the colors.
Sir, permission to post colors.
Please post the colors.
Post colors.
I pledge.
Right. Face. March on. March. Forward. March.
This evening, before tonight's board meeting, the board met in executive session to discuss a number of personnel and litigation issues, and there were no votes taken at that time. Public participation, Mr. Moravich.
There are 2 opportunities for the public to address the board. The first is on agenda items, which is immediately before the agenda. The second is on non-agenda items, which is at the end of the meeting. Pursuant to board policy and the Sunshine Law, it is a 3-minute opportunity, and it is not question and answer, but instead it is an opportunity for the public to provide to the board information regarding matters that are or may come before it.
Is there any public participation this evening? Are there any communications? Wilson Good News. Well, the Wilson Good News tonight is Dr. Amy Flannery is going to make a presentation regarding our music department, and I see Mr. Cooper is here.
So we all probably know something pretty great that we've heard about that makes us know our music department here is special. It could be just seeing the halftime show during a football game, or watching a middle school musical, or seeing an elementary student's first orchestra concert. But in the time I've been here, I've been lucky enough to see some behind-the-scene wonders as well. A composer Skyping in with the band to explain the meaning of a clarinet concerto, seeing an ensemble get its first set of superior ratings the district has ever known, winning 42 Reading Musical Foundation Awards, seeing one of our teachers as a performer in the community, like Mary Bishop playing piano for Berks County Children's Chorus, watching elementary orchestra videos stream online, seeing music parents moving equipment or just feeding students, watching a student make it to states or nationals, or even watching a student practice his routine on the sidelines when he didn't know anyone was watching. Countless accomplishments. I believe it's for these reasons that we have an entire community that supports our music department. And the nation has now noticed. I wanted to publicly acknowledge the music department for being named one of the 2017 Best Communities for Music Education by the National Association of Music Merchants Foundation. This award recognizes outstanding efforts by teachers, administrators, parents, students, and community leaders who have all made the music education part of the curriculum here at Wilson. Designations are made to districts and schools that demonstrate an exceptionally high commitment and access to music education. Here to be recognized for the work of the entire department is our department chair, David Cooper. Let's give him a round of applause as we congratulate the department's accomplishments.
Mr. Cooper knows our music department and everybody involved. They make music fun here at Wilson, and I believe everybody on the board realizes how important music is to our overall education process here in the Wilson School District. On behalf of the board, congratulations on this recognition. As Amy said, something we've all known. It's nice that got some national recognition. Congratulations. Next item, not as exciting. Approval of the minutes from April 3rd. Do I have a motion for approval? Dr. Chmielewski, second. Mr. Martin? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Treasurer's report. Do I have a second? Mr. Martin, roll call, please. Yes.
Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Mr. Hawes.
Yes.
Mr. Martin.
Yes.
Mr. Metzger.
Yes.
Mrs. Reed.
Yes.
Mr. Wolf.
Yes.
8 for, none against.
Payment of bills.
Mr. President, I submit we pay bills in the amount of $2,536,175.97 from the 2017 general fund and in the amount of $50,125.97 from the capital reserve account.
Do I have a second? Mr. Martin, roll call, please.
Mr. Hart. Yes. Mr. Hawes.
Yes.
Mr. Martin.
Yes.
Mr. Metzger.
Yes.
Mrs. Reed.
Yes.
Mr. Wolf.
Yes.
Dr. Chmielewski.
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich.
Yes.
8 for, none against.
And the financial reports.
Finally, I submit for board approval the financial reports from Wilson Cafeteria account, child care, and the activity accounts from Wilson West, Southern Middle School, and the senior high school, all dated March 2017.
Do I have a second? Mr. Martin. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hawes.
Yes.
Mr. Martin.
Yes.
Mr. Metzger.
Yes.
Mrs. Reed.
Yes.
Mr. Wolf.
Yes.
Dr. Chmielewski.
Yes.
Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich.
Yes.
8 for, none against.
Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Ehrlich. I recommend that items 5.1 retirement, 5.2 resignations, 5.3 child rearing leave, 5.4 unpaid leave of absence, 5.5 days without pay, 5.6 support staff, 5.7 change of status, 5.8 substitutes, 5.9 extracurricular, and 5.10 extended season pay be combined for voting.
Thank you. Do I have a motion? Dr. Chmielewski, second. Mr. Wolf, roll call, please.
Mr. Martin.
Yes.
Mr. Metzger.
Yes.
Mrs. Reed.
Yes.
Mr. Wolf.
Yes.
Dr. Chmielewski.
Yes.
Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Mr. Hawes.
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich.
Yes.
8 for, none against.
Under consent items, accept with gratitude the following donation, $50 from the Willow Street Pictures, sponsor of the Juried Wilson Art Show. Do I have a motion? Mrs. Reed, second. Mr. Martin, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Under Human Resources, 7.1 would be to request to approve payment of the Keystone Stars bonus for the following Wilson Child Care employees per the Keystone Stars grant, which would be payable June 8th, 2017. The list is attached there. Do I have a motion for approval? Dr. Chmielewski. Second, Mr. Metzger. Roll call, please.
Mr. Metzger.
Yes.
Mrs. Reed.
Yes.
Mr. Wolf.
Yes.
Dr. Chmielewski.
Yes.
Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Mr. Hop.
Yes.
Mr. Martin.
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich.
Yes.
8, 4, no against.
Under Pupil Services, 8.1, request permission to waive tuition for a student, female, grade 7 at Wilson Middle School. 8.2, request permission to approve the adoption of the agreement and release to provide Wilson Virtual Academy during the remainder of the 2016-2017 school year to settle the claims raised by a parent of a special education student. 8.3, request permission to ratify a contract with Capstone Academy to provide special education services to one special education student at a per diem rate of $422.22. And 8.4 is request approval of the Wilson School District Comprehensive Plan, which would be from July 2017 to June 30th, 2020. Do I have a motion? Mr. Wolf. Do I have a second? Mr. Metzger. Any discussion? Mr. Martin.
Three. I harp on this all the time, but the cost for this particular individual is going to be about $17,000 versus the cost of our cost to educate a student here at Wilson's about $3,200. So you can see the huge difference between the two.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Wolf. Dr. Chmielewski.
Yes.
Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Mr. Hop.
Yes.
Mr. Martin.
No.
Mr. Metzger.
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich.
Yes.
7, 4, 1 against, motion carries.
Under Technology and Media, request permission to enter into a contract with LaunchDM to research, plan, redesign, and redevelop the district's website and create a rebranding study conditioned upon approval of the language, terms, and conditions of the contract by the administration and the solicitor. Do I have a motion for approval? Dr. Chmielewski. Second, Mr. Wolf. Any discussion? I'd just like to say this is something I've felt has been long overdue. The district's website has served its purpose for the time that we've used it, but it's time for a refresh. And knowing Rob Wolf and Launch DM, they have a national reputation. I feel they're certainly qualified to do this. I know the Technology Committee has vetted this extensively, and our committee system here does work well, and so I'm glad we're moving forward with this.
So that we don't have overlapping contracts, and then there will be a build from there, which will be quite extensive. And it's not a refresh. I mean, we're blowing it up. So it's very exciting. I'm looking forward to completing this project. And it's great because Rob lives right across the street from me, so with his wife, who's also an officer at LaunchDM. So.
And his business is also in the Wilson.
Yes, he is. So I think it's really nice that we're having, and most of the programmers there are Wilson residents and parents of Wilson students, so they can really help get what we need to get in terms of information out to our constituency. So I'm pretty excited about it.
And that's a good point, that Mr. Wolf is a resident of the district, so he's obviously got a vested interest in making sure that this looks good and is what the district wants.
And that's what
an
they do, and they
excellent
do it
point.
very well.
Right. So I think we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Oh, sorry. Roll call, please.
Mr. Wolf.
Yes.
Dr. Chmielewski.
Yes.
Mr. Hart.
Yes.
Mr. Hop.
Yes.
Mr. Martin.
Yes.
Mr. Metzger.
Yes.
Mrs. Reed.
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich.
Yes.
8, 4, no against.
Under,
Mr. Hop said it, just to
clarify as well, he has no relation to me either.
Oh,
Spelled the same way, but, and I know him, but no relation.
no relation.
No conflict there.
Thank you for, under finance, 11.1 is request permission to submit delinquent accounts to the Berks County Tax Claim Bureau. There is one Lower Heidelberg July split bill and one Lower Heidelberg, these are 2016 July interim bill. And 11.2 is request approval of the budget transfers dated March 14th through April 10th, 2017. Do I have a motion for approval? Dr. Chmielewski. Second, Mr. Martin. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Metzger?
Yes.
Mrs. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
4 yes.
12.1, or excuse me, under curriculum and staff development, 12.1 is request approval of Jillian Lynch as the elementary summer program coordinator at a stipend of $4,500. And 12.2 is request permission to enter into an agreement with Dr. Paul Riccomini for math professional development for the 2017-2018 school year. Do I have a motion for approval? Mr. Metzger, second. Mrs. Reed. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Mr. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Metzger?
Yes.
Mrs. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Dr. Chmielewski?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
4 yes.
Under child care, 15.1, request approval to contract with Carl Environmental Group to test the drinking water at Berkshire Heights Early Learning Center. Once again, all these costs will be paid by the Wilson Child Care. There's no cost to the general fund. Do I have a motion for approval? Mrs. Reed, second. Dr. Chmielewski. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Mr. Wolf?
Yes.
Dr. Chmielewski?
Yes.
Mr. Hart?
Yes.
Mr. Ehrlich?
Yes.
4 yes.
Committee reports, Berks Career and Technology.
The next meeting of the JSC will be on Wednesday, April 26th at 6:30 PM at our West Campus. That is all. Thank you.
Berks County IU.
This Thursday.
Berks EIT. Curriculum Committee. Extracurricular.
Just another update on our spring sports. Baseball has moved into a winning season with 6-3 record. Boys lacrosse is doing outstanding at 9-1, as well as girls lacrosse at 9-1. Softball 4-6. Boys tennis 10-1, outstanding. Both boys and girls track and field are both 3-0, undefeated. And our boys volleyball team is 4-3. And I had a picture forwarded to me. I thought I would note. As well as you know, our boys lacrosse coach, Bill Waldron, is new this year, but he is stepping right in and following what we expect from our coaches, not only developing good athletes, but also developing good young men and women who contribute to the community. So over their break last week, the entire team showed up at the Greater Berks Food Bank and volunteered for the day. So I appreciate him taking the effort to create great good citizens as well as good athletes. That concludes our report.
Thank you. Yeah, I've heard some very positive feedback on the job he's doing with our lacrosse, so that's been nice to hear. Facilities, Mike, is there? Finance, no report other than I'd like to thank our finance department here on Monday, even though the district was closed. Christine and her team agreed to staff some people here for people that had last-second questions regarding the business tax. And I believe we had about 25 people come in and another 25 calls. So thank you for having those. We've decided, and Christine suggested, with it being so close to the tax deadline, it was tough for that office to be closed the day before. So clearly was worthwhile to be open. Probably alleviated a lot of calls on the 18th today. So, Human Resources, Mr. Hott. Legislative.
Yes, both the House and the Senate are back in action this week. They're holding committee meetings to see what bills will be moving through both the House and the Senate. There's also a committee looking at tax relief again, and there's a big push now to follow the Michigan plan, which was a phase-in in 2012 to eliminate property taxes, which worked fairly well in Michigan. That's getting support from both sides. It was introduced by a Democrat. So we'll see where that ends, but there's going to be addressed this year again. It will come to a vote this year again. That's it.
Thank you.
276 or a different plan?
Yes and no. It is elimination of property taxes, but through a scheduled process where there can be no less funding to a school district than it previously got the following year, previous year. And it would be guaranteed to increase X percent. But right now, I mean, it's just not even made the committee yet. It's just being sponsored. We're hunting for additional sponsors to help it get through the various committees.
Hopefully that X percent keeps up with the rate at which our pension
Well,
contribution.
that's the gorilla in this case. Most of these plans put the burden of that on the state, not on the school districts. It's really almost two separate issues. The pension has to be separate from this, else it would nothing would work. Because another thing that's coming out in July, there's going to be a new report being worked on now in the House that shows you that and these are rough numbers that I've gotten from one of the House folks. We talk about the deficit about $38 billion. Well, it's going to be closer to $100 billion. And this is going to be real time. It's not 8% increases. It's going to be real expectations, and it's going to be about $100 billion. That's it. All good news.
Public Relations, Mr. Hart.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Karen Troutman, and I just actually started today as the Director of Public Information and the Executive Director of the Wilson Education Foundation. So I'm excited to share with you just a few things from the public relations world. First, a 1989 Wilson graduate, Steve Straka, recently produced a film titled Growing Up Smith, which is being shown locally in Lancaster through Thursday, April 20th. Growing Up Smith was a Time Magazine Movie Pick of the Week. Next, the Wilson Gifted Department will be hosting its third annual Rubik's Cube Challenge on Saturday, April 22nd from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Southern Middle School. This year, local districts were also invited to join in the challenge. The Rubik's Cube is now being used to teach math, science, engineering, and art concepts, as well as critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Next, through the Greater Berks Mental Health Association, the Yoakum Institute for the Arts Education is offering a free live theater performance of Between Apartment 2B and the End Zone. This production is being presented at Southern Middle School's auditorium on Thursday, May 4th from 7 to 8 p.m. The 35-minute piece is comprised of information on confronting and discussing the topic of suicide. The presentation is suitable for those as young as 6th grade and has been well received by both college-level students and adults as well. And finally, the Grandview Gallery will host the opening reception for Paleo Art by Jason Ward and Sherry Hansen on Sunday, May 7th from 2 to 5 p.m. This will be an exhibition of paintings describing the Mesozoic era of the Earth's history. So that concludes the public relations report, and tonight there is no Wilson Education Foundation report.
Thank you, and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Steve Straka's the movie that he's a producer on, Growing Up Smith, and I would highly, I didn't see the whole movie, but I saw the previews. It looks really good. It's kind of about, it's about an Indian family trying to assimilate to the United States culture in the 1970s, and the previews look great. I know Steve was in Karen's class at Wilson, and they were a year ahead of me. So I would recommend looking out for it.
That's the second movie that I know of by a Wilson graduate, because a number of years ago, John Zaring, a friend of mine, J.R. Zaring, graduated from Wilson in 1980, produced a film that was shown here in Berks County.
Rick Baggin's produced one as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So 3. Where are we? Technology.
No report.
I guess we already covered this. Student outreach. Speaking of lacrosse, Emma is unable to be here tonight because she has a lacrosse game, so we'll give her a pass for that. Her report is the finals for AP classes just started today and will be going on for the next couple weeks. AP exam for College Board will begin in early May. Student government will be holding elections for the upcoming year this Friday, and members are also getting excited about the I Am Able duathlon and the color run. And the Wilson track team traveled to North Carolina over spring break, and the Wilson girls lacrosse team traveled to Penn State for a game against State College. The AP biology and environmental trips to Wallops Island just got back last Tuesday. And finally, student government is preparing a student-wide video which will be filmed at the end of May. And that concludes Emma's report. Solicitor, Mr. Maravich. Is there any other business? Any public participation on non-agenda items? Then I would motion to adjourn. Mr. Hopp, second. Mr. Hart, all in favor? Aye. We're adjourned.